What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you right here, right now, today. And this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, April 10th, 2023. Cody Rhodes addresses his WWE future and what is the next move for him in his career. Well, we will talk about it. So, kick back and relax, everybody, and we'll talk about that and so much more on Monday Night Raw tonight. And we're going to hit the introductions, and we're going to get this party started in just a little bit, so kick back, relax, and your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, April 10th, 2023, will be coming your way next. So don't go away, because I will be right back. See you guys in a little bit.
This is M-20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you were checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring, Big T.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show here tonight. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you right here, right now, today, and I hope you guys are ready. It's another Monday Night Delight. We're going to talk about WWE Monday Night Raw. So I hope you guys are ready for the show. I know I got to get caught up on a lot of my quickie videos tomorrow, all my ratings videos and everything. I had such a busy day today, I had no time for nothing. But everything will be caught up, so don't worry about that. And I'll say AEW Battle of the Belts, that'll probably come your way on Wednesday, since I gotta catch up on all that stuff tomorrow. Battle of the Belts we'll do Wednesday before Dynamite, and have like an AEW double header, so to speak, on Wednesday. And then we'll be good to go the rest of the way. Alright, so I'm your host Big T, right here with all of you guys tonight. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you guys all here. And real quickly, make sure you guys check out my website, www.beyondtheringwithbigt.com. If any of you have any questions or comments about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight, you guys could call into the show live on Skype using BigT_119. You can follow me on Twitter at BeyondTheRingBT. Like me, follow me on Facebook at Beyond the Ring with Big T. And follow me on Instagram at Beyond the Ring with Big T. And also, you guys, if you want to help out the channel, make sure that you please use the hashtag #JusticeForPretty for pet rights, because pets are family. Me and Mama T, Little Pretty, we all appreciate it very much. And Pretty, you will always be our bright little shining star. We love you very much forever and ever, my sweet little angel. And don't forget to donate to the show on PayPal by clicking on this link in the description of this video. Thank you guys very much. That link that you see Becky Lynch pointing up at there is the link you want. That link's at the top, pinned to the top of the YouTube live chat, Facebook live comments. It's pinned to the top of the description of this video and every single video that I do. And there's a PayPal button on my YouTube homepage. Any amount you guys want to donate, big or small, would be very much appreciated. It really helps the show. So thank you guys very much for that. And there you go. So I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll, because I sure am ready to rock and roll. We had a very, I'm not gonna say great night, but it wasn't a bad night. There was some newsworthy things on Raw tonight, and some things that WWE is trying to move, as far as storyline advancement. This show was not as bad as last week. This had more of a Triple H feel to the show, but I'm also sure that Vince McMahon probably had creative input, and I believe, I'm going to say, probably creative input in at least one of the matches, which is the women's tag team title match. That felt more like a Vince McMahon constructed thing, but other things felt more like Triple H. So, we'll talk about everything here, and I'll fill you guys in on what's going on for Monday Night Raw. Alright, guys. So, WWE still on the West Coast. They are still on the West Coast, finishing up their tour of the West Coast, I should say. What's up, Darth? How's it going? Alright, so let's take a look at everything Monday Night Raw here. There is some news. And cheers, I got some water. Alright. Let's start here. Vince McMahon reportedly not in Seattle for tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw. So where in the world is Vince McMahon? According to a new report, he is not in Seattle, cited tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw. After taking charge of last week's show, the always anticipated Raw after WrestleMania, the anxiety across wrestling began to reach new heights, that Vince McMahon might be in the driver's seat controlling WWE creative moving forward. The show was met with nearly zero positive response, and backstage morale took a dive that Vince McMahon's presence could become the rule, not the exception. But Vince McMahon was nowhere to be found in Portland, Oregon, because he was at an Eagles concert in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. Now, Portland, Oregon is where WWE Friday Night SmackDown was held on Friday night. And now, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Vince McMahon is not in the Pacific Northwest for this evening's Monday Night Raw show either. However, you might want to curb any celebrations you were quickly throwing together, that this means Vince McMahon is taking a hands-off approach to the creative end. A follow-up tweet revealed that Vince McMahon is still involved, but just remotely. But to what extent he has reinserted himself into the picture is a murkier situation. Vince McMahon had indicated recently that he would not be in the weeds of WWE's creative, only participating on a much higher level. That proved to quickly not be the case after his Raw involvement last week. Vince McMahon resides as the executive chairman of the WWE, firmly in charge of the company as a whole, in advance of its announced merger with the UFC last week. For now, the lack of McMahon's presence backstage at WWE events appears to be a positive for the WWE locker room. Reports from SmackDown indicated that the mood behind the scenes was far more upbeat than what was experiences on Monday last week. So, that is the latest news on Vince McMahon. Now, what else do we have here? Well, more news. Matt Riddle is expected to appear on every WWE live event going forward, including both Raw and SmackDown. If you've missed seeing Matt Riddle on your television screens, then you're in luck. PW Insider Elite has reported that now he's returned to WWE programming. You can expect to see him at essentially every live event going forward. That includes both WWE Monday Night Raw, where he has made his return last week, and WWE Friday Night SmackDown, where he interrupted Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso while they were beating up Sami Zayn. Until last week, Matt Riddle had not appeared on television since December, when Solo Sikoa took him out of action for several months, while he was reportedly suspended and confirmed to have undergone rehab for a second failed drug test. Tonight on Raw, the scheduled match is that, Matt Riddle will take on The Miz in his first match back in action, but that match ended up being canceled, as we know. Though it will be interesting to monitor whether or not Matt Riddle's issues with the Bloodline, specifically Solo Sikoa, continued to develop before the Usos became the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Matt Riddle held the Raw Tag Team Championships with Randy Orton. Once the Viper was written off of television due to a back injury and RK Bro were no more, he then went after Roman Reigns. However, he ultimately failed in capturing the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Now that he is back, he has promptly thrown himself into the fray with the Bloodline, and in doing so, he aligned himself with the men who defeated the Usos at WrestleMania 39, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Most recently, Matt Riddle wrestled Solo Sikoa in a dark match on April 7th, defeating the Bloodline's enforcer, Solo Sikoa, by disqualification. In addition to his Raw Tag Team and United States title triumphs, Riddle is also a one-time WWE NXT Tag Team Champion with Pete Dunne, who is now known as Butch. So that is everything that you need to know about Matt Riddle, and what's going on with Matt Riddle. I mean, I like Matt Riddle. I'm looking forward to seeing, what he's going to do in this feud. How he's going to interject himself into all of this. We will see going forward. As far as other news that we have, because there is one more. There's one more piece of news here. Let's see. What's up, Hunter? Hello. You didn't watch Raw, but you did see Trish turn heel and heard there was travel delays. I've heard that too. Another piece of news, Logan Paul re-signs with the WWE. Paul's WWE contract ended after WrestleMania 39. but the company hadn't wasted any time in rehiring Logan Paul. Logan Paul took to Twitter on Monday morning and shared a photo with Paul Triple H Levesque, in which he can be seen showing off his renewed WWE contract. The photo also features a bottle of the Prime Energy drink, whose company sponsored Logan Paul's match at WrestleMania 39. As of this writing, neither Logan Paul nor WWE has revealed any details about Logan Paul's new deal. Presumably, he will continue to work a part-time schedule and be used as a star attraction, similar to his last contract agreement. Outside of wrestling, Logan Paul has a myriad of business ventures, including his successful Impulsive podcast, so he certainly is not short on projects to focus on outside of sports entertainment. Now, Logan Paul had an impressive rookie year in the WWE following his in-ring debut at WrestleMania 38. Logan Paul went on to have acclaimed programs with superstars such as The Miz, Roman Reigns, and Seth freaking Rollins. His performances even gained some attention from the MMA world, with the UFC president Dana White calling Logan Paul's WWE tenure a home run. It remains to be seen what WWE has in store for Logan Paul moving forward. However, boxer Tommy Fury wants to face Logan Paul in the WWE at some point, and he said he will do it in an instant if the opportunity presents itself. Fury recently ended Jake Paul's undefeated streak in a boxing ring, and his brother Tyson Fury has competed in WWE before. Could a Fury family versus Paul family feud be set to take place in WWE? That would be interesting. You know, you got Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury against Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I like it. And let's see, is there any news? Is there any news on the travel issues? Hold on here. Did the travel delays get reported here? Because I heard about those rumors as well. I don't see anything on here, though. This is weird. Here we go. Backstage details on travel issues for talent and major rewrites to WWE Monday Night Raw. Last Monday on the Raw after WrestleMania, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon was reported firmly back in control, leading to a frantic show with multiple off-screen rewrites, as well as a dip in overall morale backstage. Well, tonight's Raw from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington, also features a lot of shuffling around, but for an entirely different reason this time. Corey Graves mentioned on commentary at the top of the show that a lot of talent had been dealing with travel delays, and thus had not arrived at the arena yet. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp reported as much about an hour before Raw began. We are told Vince McMahon is not at Monday Night Raw tonight, but there were a lot of travel issues this morning that caused a lot of changes to the show, Sapp tweeted. And the Wrestling Observer's Andrew Zarian and Dave Meltzer added their own reporting, with Zarian writing 50% of the Raw roster has still not arrived to Seattle due to travel issues, and there have been major rewrites for Monday Night Raw this evening. And Meltzer, echoing similar, tweeting a large percentage of the roster was not there. Some were not going to make it, and others were getting in late. So a lot of changes and backup plans were put in place in recent hours. A report early Monday evening confirmed that Vince McMahon was not in Seattle, Washington for Raw, but his overall involvement in the show was still unknown. It was said that he remains involved, but remotely, which is similar to how last Friday's SmackDown ran, as Vince McMahon was not present in Portland, Oregon either. Even still, his physical absence, in general, is said to have had an overall positive effect on those who were backstage. So that is everything that you guys need to know. That is everything that you guys need to know. And there's a little something here. Medusa had a little something to say about Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania angle, and I thought that this was interesting to put in here. Medusa calls Cody Rhodes' WWE WrestleMania 39 loss the best angle ever. Many fans were in shock and awe after WrestleMania 39 when Roman Reigns defeated Cody Rhodes to retain the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. After Cody Rhodes returned on a mission to finish the story by capturing the top prize in WWE in honor of his father and family. Cody arguably lost the biggest match of his career. However, some found the loss necessary in order for Cody to face some adversity in his latest run. And one of those people appears to be WWE Hall of Famer Medusa. During an appearance on 10 Count to promote her new book, Medusa mentioned that her longtime friend and mentor Paul Heyman had written the foreword for her book. But speaking of the wise man and the bloodline, Medusa shared that she loved everything involving Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all. Medusa even showed support for the more recent developments between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Medusa says, and I quote, "It was the best angle ever," Medusa says. Now, y'all probably won't agree with me, but I'm telling you, it's either two things. It was the best receipt to Cody Rhodes, or it was the best booking ever. It is either just a big old receipt, and when his contract's done, his ass is out, or it's going to be the best angle ever. Especially when things went down on Monday Night Raw with Brock Lesnar. I thought that was brilliant. Time will tell which outcome will play out in the long run, but Vince McMahon's company ribbing Cody Rhodes isn't so far-fetched. I mean, we've seen Vince do it to Cody before, but I hope Vince would not do that again because I do like Cody. I want to see Cody get the title, like I said, either later on this year or next year, but WrestleMania, we needed Roman to get to 1,000 days, and we need Roman to pass Pedro Morales. That's the main thing right now. But they cited Dusty Rhodes' polka dots and the $1 Million Man's valet Virgil as examples. If you, let's see, oh, that was the end of it. Okay. So that was from 10 Count Wrestling Inc. Did the transcription of that, but how do you guys feel with what Medusa had to say there? Do you agree with her about this possibly being the greatest angle for Cody Rhodes, or do you not agree with it? Let me know what you guys think. So, let's take a look here and get into the show now. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. This was like a repeat of that, Hunter, when Raw and SmackDown was stuck in Saudi Arabia. That's exactly what this basically was. But at least, everybody's safe. Right now, they got some people there. They weren't able to get all there, but they still, they made for an alright show. They did okay. WWE Monday Night Raw. Review results for Monday, April 10th, 2023. Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens. We got a women's tag team title match. We hear from Cody Rhodes and more. So, WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, April 10, 2023 comes to us live from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. This is what they had advertised for the show. Let's see. Becky Lynch and Lita will be putting their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in their first defense since earning themselves the titles in late February. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Damage Control's Dakota Kai and Io Sky on last week's edition of Raw to secure their number one contender spot in tonight's match, and later earned a victory over Natalya and Shotzi a few days later on WWE SmackDown. Brock Lesnar shocked the world when he agreed to be Cody Rhodes' tag partner last week, and subsequently attacked him ahead of their scheduled match with the Bloodline's Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Brock Lesnar delivered several F5s to Cody Rhodes and hit him with a steel chair, and sent him crashing through the announce desk. Tonight, Cody Rhodes will be addressing the whole ordeal as well as his recent loss to the aforementioned Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 and his future in the WWE after announcing he would be doing so in an Instagram post over the weekend. So that's all the teases. Now let's get to the actual show that you guys came here for. That was a fun show. I remember that SmackDown show, Hunter. That was cool. So, Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick greet audiences at home as Rey Mysterio heads to the ring, so we hear from Rey Mysterio. Rey welcomes fans to Raw and then says he has to pour his heart out. Rey says it's been a great year for him, and it should have been a great week for him last week when he competed at WrestleMania and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Rey says facing his own son Dominic at WrestleMania wasn't ideal, and Rey tells Dominic he wanted things to be different. So, Dominic's music hits, he comes out. Dominic tells Rey to keep his name out of his mouth and says he's sick and tired of hearing about what Rey wants. Dominic tells Rey that he never cared about him, and he's now better off with his real family, the Judgment Day. Rey calls the Judgment Day selfish idiots and tells Dominic that they are using him. Dominic says Rey is the selfish one and says he would have won at WrestleMania if it wasn't for Bad Bunny. He says he wasn't using Bad Bunny, or he says he was using Bad Bunny, and then throws it to a video of the ending of their WrestleMania match and Bad Bunny's confrontation with him and Damian Priest last Monday night on Raw. Dominic says Bad Bunny makes a lot of good songs, but when Damian Priest put him through the table, it was music to his ears. Dominic says he hopes that Bad Bunny stays out of Judgment Day's business before Rey informs him that Bad Bunny will be back and he will regret putting his hands on him. Dominic says those are just more empty words and tells Rey he should be more worried about what the Judgment Day will do to him. Rey says that Rey asked Dominic when he will man up and do things on his own, and then says that he seems like a lost cause as he invites him to step into the ring for a WrestleMania match. But Dominic says he will not fight his own father, but he knows someone else who will. Cue Finn Balor's music. Finn Balor's music hits. He comes down to the ring. We go to commercial break. And we come back from the commercial break, and what do you know? We got Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor with Dominic Mysterio in Finn Balor's corner. Alright. So let's get into this match and see what they got going on. The bell rings, and Balor sends Rey face first in the top turnbuckles. He follows it up with several shoulders to his midsection. He rains down some right hands before Rey returns the favor. He then delivers a dropkick to Balor. Balor fires back with an elbow drop and several stomps, and then hits a back elbow and a few forearms to the back of his head. Rey responds and sends Balor to the outside and follows it up with a baseball bat and a splash. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Rey fires off several forearms and ascends to the top as he delivers a senton and follows it up with a crossbody off the ropes. He delivers a drop kick that sends Balor into the ropes and sets up for the 619. But Balor comes back with a flying clothesline and a drop kick that sends Rey into the turnbuckles. He ascends to the top, but Rey meets him there and delivers a series of headbutts. He hits another Hurricane Rana and goes for a pin, but Balor kicks out. Ray then sends Balor into the ropes and hits the 619, and then climbs to the top and looks for a frog splash. Balor gets his knees up and goes for the pin, but Ray kicks out, and Balor gets in the referee's face as Dominic sneaks up on the apron with a chain wrapped around his hand. Ray knocks Dominic off before he sends Balor out to join him and delivers a tope suicida that sends both of them, or that levels both of them. So he sends Balor's head repeatedly bouncing off the announce desk and then tosses him back in the ring and goes to join him. Dominic then clocks Ray with the chain while the referee is distracted by Balor and the apron. And then Balor, he's smiling. He grabs Ray, drags his dead weight to the center of the ring, sets him up perfectly. Balor goes up to the top and delivers the coup de grace to Rey Mysterio for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Finn Balor over Rey Mysterio. And I gotta say, I'm not surprised with the interference here from the Judgment Day. I mean, did anybody expect anything else? I mean, come on. This was one of the things that, you could kind of see coming. And the whole thing is, Ray isn't going to win. They're going to try to make the Judgment Day, to look strong. The match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It was just a very predictable match when you looked at it with what they had, over there on paper. So, take with that what you will. That's just my opinion on it. So it's your guys' turn to comment on it. Alright, so after Balor wins his match, we head to a video of the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis and Kathy Kelly. Before Alpha Academy can answer Kathy Kelly's question, Maxine Dupree interrupts and begins arguing with Otis. And then we hear a commotion, and the camera pans over to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez checking on an injured Lita. Lita clutches her neck. As, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are calling for Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce appears alongside officials. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus come running. Becky accuses Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of attacking Lita, but they say they found her in the state that she was in. Well, I already knew, okay? I already knew because I've read the reports. I have seen what has been reported, read what has been reported, and it's been this way since way before WrestleMania. This has been reported since, I believe, the beginning of March, end of February, possibly. And it was reported that Trish Stratus is gonna turn heel on Becky Lynch and feud with Becky Lynch this year. And I remember even saying all those times ago, like even if it was 6 weeks ago, I remember telling you guys, I hope they kind of hold off on this because I would love to see Trish and Becky go at it at SummerSlam. I don't want to see them just throw this feud out there, on a random pay-per-view like Backlash just because, they're going to Puerto Rico. So, let's make something, like that there. Like Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, that has all the feelings of a SummerSlam match. It just does. There's nothing else I can do. Or nothing else I can say, really, because it has that SummerSlam feel. So, let's continue on here. By the way, there's another piece of news that broke about Cody, what could be going forward for him. And honestly, Cody, After Backlash, there's been talk of Cody possibly being the one to win Money in the Bank. You know, there's a lot of creative pitches, I guess, being thrown around for him at the moment. We'll have to see which one sticks, which ones the WWE is actually going to go with, but, you know, Cody's going to be just fine. I really think they're going to... This is all about building him up, and this is all about Cody being, you know, that basically the underdog babyface right now, chasing, and then eventually he's going to win that title, and when he does, it will be all the more sweeter, and, you know, people will appreciate it and love it that much more when it finally does happen. So, after this, I already said to myself, okay, when Lita was found beat up holding her neck, I'm like, this is Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is the one that did it. She attacked Lita so she could get to Becky. I'm like, you know, easy enough. And also, it's little attention to detail that make you think it's somebody that knows Lita very well that attacked her. Because even though people know that Lita has suffered, you know, from a neck injury, she had a neck fusion back in, 2001? Whole thing is, you know, Lita, she's been out of it for so long. A lot of the current women that are in the WWE that haven't wrestled Lita might not know of her full history from 22 years ago and her, you know, the full story behind her neck injury. So with that being said, with her neck being attacked, she was holding her neck. Who is going to know everything about Lita's neck and everything about, you know, Lita's injury history and everything else? Lita's best friend, Trish Stratus, would know every single bit of it. That's who would know. So it already made me think, for Lita, for the attack point to be her neck, I already thought, I'm like, Trish was the one that took her out. This has to be Trish. This is all about the heel turn of Trish Stratus, which we will get into this later when we get into the women's tag team match. But, you know, after this, you know, we go to commercial, we come back from the commercial break, we had a video recapping what happened between Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar last week. We then head over to Byron Saxton and Becky Lynch in the gorilla position. Byron Saxton asks Becky Lynch for an update on Lita and asks who might have been responsible for the attack. And Becky says Lita is being checked on at a local medical facility. Becky says she has no clue who attacked Lita. You know, she has no clue. And, let's see, at a local medical facility. And adds that she will slap the head off of whoever attacked Lita. So, Becky says she would have defended the titles by herself, but she found the perfect partner. Trish Stratus walks in, and then Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch head to the ring together to defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they follow them out. And what do you know, we got a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. So we got the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Becky Lynch and Lita. And, which, you know, Lita had to be, you know, Trish Stratus had to replace Lita. And so Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So at this point, Raquel and Becky, they begin the action. The bell rings. Becky slaps Raquel. Raquel shoves Becky into the corner and then tags in Liv. Raquel whips Liv into Becky before Liv delivers an enziguri and sets up for a suplex. Becky reverses it into a roll-up, but Liv kicks out. Becky delivers a kick to her face and looks for a splash in the corner, but Liv ducks out of the way and delivers a knee, and she follows it up with a kick to the back of her neck and a stomp. But Becky fires back with a few uppercuts and tags in Trish as Liv catches Trish with a back elbow. But Trish catches her with a Hurricane Rana off the top. Becky tags in and ascends to the top and then delivers the leg drop. And then we go to commercial and we come back from the commercial break. Coming back from the break, Trish has Liv in a chin lock. Liv escapes and, both women level one another with bulldogs. Raquel and Becky tag back into the match. Raquel delivers a pair of clotheslines and a shoulder tackle and then follows it up with a fallaway slam and a corkscrew elbow. Becky then delivers a, forearm, ascends to the top rope, delivers a missile drop kick. She goes for a pin, Raquel kicks out. Raquel sends Becky's head bouncing off the top rope, and then both women, they ascend to the top rope, and Becky delivers a series of headbutts as Raquel knocks her off, and Becky tags in Trish. Becky ascends to the top with Trish, but Raquel knocks Becky off as Trish then catches her with a Hurricane Rana and goes for a pin. But Raquel kicks out. Becky tags in. Trish holds Raquel in place as Becky hits a drop kick, as she then fires off a couple of forearms and looks for a kick, but Raquel catches her with a backbreaker and tags in Liv. Liv hits a DDT and goes for a pin, but Becky kicks out of that. Becky sets up for the disarm her, but Liv counters into a roll-up. Becky kicks out and sends Liv into the middle turnbuckle face first and tags in Trish. Trish and Becky then sit Liv on the top and follow her up there. They look for a double superplex, but they take so damn long because Raquel, she forgot her cue to get into the ring to do the Tower of Doom spot. It took like 10 seconds too long, but then she finally did it. Raquel ends up pulling all three women down, so they do from the top rope, so they end up doing the Tower of Doom spot, but Raquel botched that one. Becky and Liv, they go back and forth with forearms before Becky knocks Liv to the mat and drags her into the corner. She ascends to the top, but Raquel sends Becky toppling on top of Raquel. Becky locks in the disarm her, but Raquel saves her partner. Trish delivers the Stratisfaction before Liv hits the Oblivion. Becky rolls through and delivers the manhandle slam and goes for a pin as Raquel pulls Becky to the outside, but Becky fights her off and tags in Trish. Trish sets up for the chick kick, but Liv Morgan rolls up Trish Stratus for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winners and the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. And I was like, what? Really? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I mean, I had a feeling just because of, Trish Stratus' whole impending heel turn, but my God, really? Your winners and the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan? And to be honest with you, this match was terrible. It's like nobody clicked in this match. Nobody was, in sync with each other in this match. I mean, everything was just a complete debacle, And plus, Raquel's missed spot, then ended up getting botched. I mean, this was a complete mess in the ring tonight with these women. And I'm just being honest with you. It was a sloppy tag match. The wrestling was sloppy in it. Nothing was really in sync here with any of them. And it's just everything felt off. And I don't understand. Why. they're, they're making the women's matches go like this. There was another women's match tonight, which we'll talk about later on in the show. And that match, too, was nothing good. There was really nothing good. So, I'm just, I'm completely at a loss, for kind of what they did here. It was kind of hard to watch this match. Maybe this was part of the rewrites, or something happened, and, I have no idea why you would give the titles, though, to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They're not even a tag team. They're one of those, makeshift tag teams. And then I thought Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler were supposed to be number one contenders, and, now you're definitely not going to get Becky and Ronda in the ring after this, because you're going to get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in the future, I guess. I don't know what they're doing. I don't, but the only thing I can tell you is this match was not good. The story came after the match because your winners and the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions is Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. After the match, Becky holds Trish's hand up, and both women hug before Trish clocks Becky from behind. And then Trish delivers the chick kick to Becky. And then when Becky's knocked out, Trish gets in Becky's face before she retreats to the back. And that was that. And then we go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. We head backstage with Byron Saxton. Trish Stratus walks by Byron Saxton. And Byron Saxton asks Trish why she turned on Becky. Trish just kind of looks at him, doesn't respond, and keeps walking. So, obviously, Trish has turned heel. She's gone rogue. And we're going to get a Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch feud, in the very near future. So, let's see. What else do I got? Let's see. Ooh, I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. So, in a little bit more to the story here, Becky Lynch betrayed in shocking heel turn on WWE Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch no longer holds one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and her Hall of Fame partner has some explaining to do, not Lita, but rather Trish Stratus. Early in the evening on Raw on Monday night, Lita was attacked backstage while their title challengers, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, were arriving at the arena. Lita was ruled out of action almost immediately, but the title match would still go forward as planned, sort of. Stepping in Lita's place on her behalf was longtime rival turned best friend Trish Stratus, who pointed to their WrestleMania 39 victory over Damage Control as a reason that she and Becky could get the job done out there. No. It wasn't to be, however, as Liv Morgan intercepted the chick kick and rolled up Trish Stratus to secure the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win, the pinfall victory. And just like that, we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. But that isn't where Becky's miserable night ended. After the defeat, the man Becky Lynch looked to console her partner, only for Trish Stratus to strike Becky when her back was turned. As Becky struggled to her feet, Trish knocked Becky out with the chick kick, and in the process turned heel for the first time in nearly 2 decades. When backstage correspondent Byron Saxton attempted to get an explanation immediately following the betrayal, Trish simply walked on by. So for the time being, the WWE Universe will only have certain questions to sit on until we get an explanation from Trish Stratus herself. There's going to be a lot of speculation for the time being. Fans may take some solace in the fact that this is already Trish's second match of 2023. Given her actions on Monday night, it seems certain that there's more matches to come for Trish this year. So, there you go. Match was alright. Nothing incredibly special or over the top, but I guess I could say just okay. You know, just okay. Excuse me. Alright, guys. So, let's see what I got next here. What do I have next here for all of you? Let's take a look. We then head over to Dakota Kai and Io Sky walking outside of Adam Pearce's office. Bayley emerges and informs them that she convinced Adam Pearce to keep Damage Control together during the WWE draft. She then says she went in there to get them a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. And then says that she was offered a match with Piper Niven and Meech and Mia Yim, with the winner getting a shot at Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship. Io Sky and Dakota Kai offered to take Bayley's place in the match, and Bayley heads to the back to talk to Adam Pearce about that idea. So it sounds more like Damage Control is just splitting at the seams here. Back at ringside, Bobby Lashley heads down to the ring. Bronson Reed follows. We get Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. These two big guys. The bell rings, both men lock up before Lashley delivers a back elbow and several forearms and kicks. Reed fires back with several forearms of his own, but Lashley catches it with a DDT. Reed drapes Lashley on the top rope before Lashley sends Reed into the turnbuckles face first. Reed then sends Lashley crashing to the outside and delivers a shoulder tackle off the apron. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Reed delivers a boot to Lashley and mocks him as he fires off several right hands, but Lashley responds with a splash and a shoulder to Reed's midsection. He then hits a swinging neckbreaker and a suplex, and then looks to cinch in the hurt lock. Reed blocks it and sends himself and Lashley tumbling to the mat, and then Reed sets up for the tsunami. Lashley rolls out of the way, but Reed still goes flying and takes down Lashley. Lashley then delivers a spinebuster and cinches in the hurt lock. Reed sends Lashley tumbling to the outside to break the hold, but Lashley catches him with a shoulder tackle as the referee begins a 10 count as Reed sends Lashley into the ring post. Neither man makes it in the ring to beat the count on time, so it's a double count out. Your winner is nobody due to a double count out. It's a draw. After the match, both Bronson Reed and the almighty Bobby Lashley, they begin brawling with one another. And I can't wait to see this rematch. This was a good match between these two guys. I'm not a fan of double countouts or disqualification finishes, but this was one of the rare cases where I agree with it, because neither Bobby Lashley nor Bronson Reed could take a loss here. So it feels good, you know, that they at least protected both of them, get them into a match on pay-per-view, and then, you know, have that deciding match then when it counts. That's where you need it. So, there you go, guys. Alright, next up. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Cody Rhodes heads to the ring, guys. And now we hear from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes says, Seattle, What do you guys want to talk about? Cody says that's typically a redundant question, and Cody then says it feels a bit cloudy after this past week, after WrestleMania. Cody addresses losing his undisputed WWE Universal Championship match to Roman Reigns. Cody takes full responsibility for losing and apologizes. Cody then says his friend Matt told him that being in the main event is a win itself, as Cody says there is no point in stealing the show if you don't win. So Cody says he's also heard Paul Heyman's comments about him needing to earn another shot at the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and then says that he doesn't need to earn it because he is it. Cody then addresses Brock Lesnar and says, as much as it was embarrassing to lose his match to Roman Reigns with a rubber chicken next to his head, it even hurt more to have Brock Lesnar turn on him after he offered him his partnership. Cody says he can almost understand if Brock Lesnar was upset about his spot at WrestleMania. But Cody then says he also thinks that Brock Lesnar is uncertain of him and the change that he has brought. Cody says Brock sees a predator when he looks in the mirror. And, Cody questions if Brock sees him as a victim. Cody says that if he was asked if he was scared of Brock, Cody said the answer would be yes. Cody says, because I would be crazy not to be scared of Brock. But you know what does scare him? As, Cody says he still wants to fight Brock Lesnar. He still wants to do it. Cody says he will leave no stone unturned, and says he wants to make Brock Lesnar see a victim when he looks in the mirror. Cody says he will fight Brock Lesnar anywhere, anytime, and any place. Cody says he knows Brock isn't here in Seattle tonight, but Cody challenges Brock to a match at WWE WrestleMania Backlash, and then Cody invites Brock to answer the call on this one. WrestleMania Backlash. It was supposed to be just Backlash, Now all of a sudden we're back to WrestleMania Backlash. That is definitely a Vince McMahon call, if I ever heard Vince McMahon calls. Okay. So, there's a little bit more on this. Cody Rhodes mentions rubber chicken, and he challenges Brock Lesnar to a match at WWE Backlash. So if we learned one thing during the April 10, 2023 episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, it is that the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is afraid of nobody. We also learned that he doesn't mind poking fun at himself from time to time either. Following last week's brutal attack at the hands of Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes delivered on his promise to address his future in front of the WWE Universe. By the end of that address, he issued a challenge to the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Cody spent the majority of his promo fully taking the blame for his loss to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39, saying that he did not calculate for all of the variables when he was unable to finish his story inside of SoFi Stadium. Cody then took a little jab at his own expense, asking, "You want to know what's more embarrassing than laying there surrounded by 80,000 people with a rubber chicken a foot away from your head, and not the two titles that you came to get?" And then Cody challenges Brock. Now, while the question was more or less rhetorical, Cody went into great detail describing the embarrassment of having to wake up the next day and go to work empty-handed. Cody talked about looking for, satisfaction, and even when he was denied a rematch, he thought he had forged an alliance with Brock Lesnar. Obviously, that wasn't to be, which brings us to the present. Cody said he knows that he should be afraid of Brock Lesnar, and that he is probably seen as prey, similar to how many of Brock's past victims have been viewed as. But Cody doesn't care about any of that, which is why the only path forward was to challenge Brock Lesnar to a match at Backlash. That is when Cody then brought things to a close, declaring, "I would be crazy not to be scared of Brock Lesnar, but I still want to fight Brock Lesnar." WWE later promoted that Brock Lesnar will appear on next Monday's Raw, presumably to answer Cody Rhodes' challenge for WrestleMania Backlash. So, we will find out, Brock's answer going into next week. So, the excitement continues. But let's take a look, guys, at what we got next as we continue to go along here in this review. So, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, head to the ring as Alpha Academy, Otis, and Chad Gable follow. Now we got the Usos against Alpha Academy. This was a great tag team match. Jey Uso and Otis begin the action. The bell rings, both men lock up, they go back and forth with submission holds before Otis plants Jey and tags in Chad Gable. Jimmy Uso tags in and delivers a right hand to Gable's head. Before Gable ascends to the top and delivers a flying clothesline, he then rains down right hands in the corner and then trips up Jimmy. Jey tags in and delivers an elbow off the top. While Jimmy holds Gable in place, Jimmy then executes a backbreaker. We go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Jimmy is beating down Gable. Gable fires back with a suplex and tags in Otis. Otis beats Jimmy down before Jimmy ascends to the top, as Otis catches him and plants him and then hits the caterpillar. Gable tags in and Otis gets Jimmy in an electric chair position, while Gable ascends to the top. He goes flying and Jimmy is sent crashing into the mat, as Gable goes for a pin but Jimmy kicks out. Jey then sends Otis to the outside and looks to go flying, but Otis prevents him from doing so. Jimmy hits a tope suicida before the Usos deliver a double super kick, and then sends Otis over the announce desk. Gable catches the Usos with a moonsault, and then tosses Jimmy back in the ring, and hits a diving headbutt as he goes for a pin, but Jimmy kicks out. Gable cinches in the ankle lock, but Jimmy escapes and tags in Jey. The Usos then deliver a double super kick to Gable and follow it up with the 1D for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner of this match is Jimmy and Jey the Usos, and what I view was a damn good tag team match here. Wow. I thought this tag team match was great. See, this is tag team wrestling. This is something that you love to see. At least I do. Let me know what you guys think. Damage Control then heads to the ring next. And Damage Control heads to the ring next. Piper Niven and Meech and Mia Yim follow. Io Sky, this one competing on her own, but she's got Bayley and Dakota Kai in her corner. And she's going up against Meech and Mia Yim and Piper Niven in a triple threat match. Number one contenders triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. So the bell rings, and Piper Niven levels the Io Sky as Meech and Mia Yim fires off several forearms on Niven. before Io ascends to the top, takes her down with a crossbody. Michin delivers a flapjack to Io and then levels Piper on the outside with a tope suicida. Io then goes flying and takes both women down. We go to commercial, then we come back from the commercial break, and Niven delivers a body slam to Michin. Io jumps Niven and then looks to put her in a sleeper hold, but Niven tosses her onto Michin and delivers a double crossbody to the both of them. Io ascends to the top, but Michin catches her with a kick and pulls her down. Io manages to deliver a Hurricane Rana to Michin before she hits a drop kick on Piper and goes for the pin. Michin breaks the fall and fires off several kicks across Io's chest, and then follows it up with a German suplex. Niven plants Io, but Michin catches Niven with a drop kick and goes for a pin. And Niven breaks things up, and Michin takes her down with a sunset flip. Michin then delivers the Eat Defeat, but Io climbs to the top and delivers the Over the Moonsault to both Michin and Niven. I mean, believe it or not, yeah, Io Sky hits the Over the Moonsault to both Michin, Mia Yim, and Piper Niven. And Io then decides to pin Michin, Mia Yim for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner and the new number one contender for the WWE Raw Women's Championship to face Bianca Belair, I'm assuming at WrestleMania Backlash, is Io Sky. And I mean, this will be great. You know, split from Damage Control. Io goes on and, you know, in a babyface role. I mean, there could be a lot of great things for her. We'll see how they continue to go with this story. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I think they could do some really good things here. So we'll see how they play it off. Let's see. So, I mean, this match, though, wasn't the greatest, to be honest with you. It had the right winner, but there was nothing special about it. Io had some good spots in here that kind of made it okay, but it was just that. It was nothing special. It was very forgettable at the end of the day. Let's hope that Io's match with Bianca Belair, though, will be a straight banger at Backlash, and it'll be a match that everybody remembers. Alright. So, after Io Sky wins and she's your new number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship, it's now time for the main event of the evening for WWE Monday Night Raw. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy and Jay the Usos head to the ring as Kevin Owens, follows. So we got Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa's got Jimmy and Jay the Usos in his corner. And it's the main event of the evening for WWE Monday Night Raw. And, yeah, let's see, here's more of a story on Io first real quick. New title challenger for Bianca Belair decided on WWE Monday Night Raw. While WWE seemingly planted seeds last week on Monday Night Raw for an eventual showdown between the SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, we now know who will next challenge the EST and WWE for a championship. Damage Control's Io Sky. Now, earning that title match wasn't going to be easy, as Io Sky had to defeat both Michin, Mia Yim and Piper Niven in a triple threat match to determine the new number one contender. If body language is anything to go by, Bayley may very well think that this should have been her spot. After being absent from Raw last week, Bayley told both Io and Dakota backstage that after speaking with Adam Pearce, she had been placed in the triple threat match. While Dakota was certainly a little apprehensive in response to the news, Io was much more vocal, demanding that their leader Bayley get one of them an opportunity instead. It has been a rough handful of months for Damage Control for starters. Bayley lost multiple Raw Women's Championship matches against Bianca Belair. And they also came up short against Team Bianca in Survivor Series War Games last November. And there's also the matter of Io Sky and Dakota Kai losing their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships to Lita and Becky Lynch in February, losing a trios match at WrestleMania 39 against those two as well as Trish Stratus. And then failing to earn another shot at those women's tag titles last week on Raw. Io Sky was able to put an end to all that misery for the time being after connecting with an over-the-moon salt on both Mia Yim and Piper Niven en route to a victory. We do not know yet, however, when she will face off against Bianca Belair for the title. I'm assuming WrestleMania Backlash, but who knows? We'll see. Now for Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa here. Let's get into that match. The bell rings and Owens goes straight for Solo. He fires off right hands, but Solo catches him with one of his own and begins to target his leg as he hits several stomps. And KO responds with a chop. Solo then catches KO with a back elbow and then knocks him out of the ring. KO whips Solo into the steel ring steps and then tosses him back in the ring, and then he hits senton, and he goes for a pin, but Solo kicks out. Solo trips KO before he hits a hip attack and gloats about it. And then we go to commercial break, and then we come back from the commercial break. Solo delivers a kick to KO's head. He then plants KO and charges at him, but KO gets his boot up. KO then delivers a pair of kicks and sets up for a cannonball, but then his leg gives out. This allows Solo to execute a kick of his own and sit KO on the top turnbuckle as he hits a right hand and joins KO up there, but KO fights him off and delivers a frog splash as he goes for a pin, but Solo kicks out. Owens sets up with the stunner, but Solo blocks it and executes a Samoan drop as he ascends to the top, but Owens catches him with an enziguri and joins him up there as both men go back and forth with right hands. But Solo pushes KO off. KO drags Solo off the top. And Jade distracts the referee. Jimmy tries attacking KO, but KO fights him off and ascends to the top. KO then delivers a swanton bomb and goes for a pin, but Solo kicks out. KO hits a pop-up powerbomb and sets up for a stunner. But Jimmy distracts the referee. This allows Jay to hit a kick on Owens and Solo to follow up with a Samoan spike to Owens for the 1-2-3. Yeah, for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. So your winner of the match is Solo Sikoa. Now, of course, he had a little help with Jey Uso hitting a super kick on Kevin Owens while the referee was distracted, but Solo Sikoa followed that up with the Samoan spike. He got the pin and the win. He ended up winning the match. So your winner is Solo Sikoa. After the match, the Usos beat down Kevin Owens as they deliver several stomps. As we see Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle run to the ring, from backstage. But they go from backstage and they run all the way out. Playing off that they just arrived from the airport because, of all the travel problems. So they kind of played that up here, in this whole thing as well. That's what they managed to do. And then, at this point, they run to the ring from backstage. Sami and Riddle, they appear ringside. They fight off the Usos. They then go after Solo. Riddle delivers a knee before, the pair knock him out of the ring. Jay tries to interfere, but Riddle hits him with a knee. And Sami catches Jay with an exploder suplex. As, let's see. Yeah, Sami catches Jay with an exploder suplex in the corner. Sami sets up for the haluva kick, but Jimmy prevents him from doing so. KO delivers a stunner, and Sami sets up for a haluva kick on Jay once again, but Solo pulls Jay out of the ring so he doesn't have to suffer through another haluva kick. And that is how Monday Night Raw went off the air, folks. That was the end of Monday Night Raw. So it looks to me like we have our 6-man tag co-main event of Backlash pretty much solidified. That's going to be the Usos and Solo Sikoa against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. And then Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar being the main event of Backlash. So it looks like we have everything, just the way we want it going into Backlash in another 3 weeks or so. Alright, guys. So that was WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. What do you guys think of it? Let me know. I have not watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, Darth. I have not. I hope you guys had a great Easter yesterday on Sunday. Now Easter's over. But I hope all of you had a happy Easter on Sunday. And, as far as what I rate Monday Night Raw tonight, it wasn't the best show, okay? It really wasn't. It had a couple of bad spots like I told you about, but it had a couple of good spots as far as, moving forward in the storyline development like I explained throughout the show. Man, as far as what I would rate the show itself, Trish's heel turn, the storyline with the Bloodline and KO and Sami and Riddle getting involved in the mix, Cody and Brock, all that stuff is kind of moving on, which I like that, so good on them there. This definitely felt like a better show than it did last week. I'm going to say that WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, April 10th, 2023. I'll go ahead and say this show was alright. It was decent, maybe a little bit above average, It was a decent show. I'll go ahead and give this show, I would say, a 6 out of 10. I'll say a solid 6 out of 10 for WWE Monday Night Raw tonight for Monday, April 10th, 2023. Give it that 6 out of 10. Alright, folks, so, now it's your turn. Let me know what you guys think of all this, and then I'm going to get on out of here tonight, so cheers to you. There you go. Alright, so, that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the show, so I'll see you guys next time. Yes, there will be a next time for me. Right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T. That'll be for an AEW doubleheader with Battle of the Belt 6 and AEW Dynamite review and results shows on Wednesday. Don't forget us, and we won't forget you. And of course, if you want the best, and yes, I do mean the absolute best for all of your professional wrestling needs, right here on the internet, right here on YouTube.com today. Always remember to think Beyond the Ring with Big T. And then, of course, everybody, as always, thank you very much for watching and listening to your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, April 10th, 2023. And, your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results shows. Thank you guys very much for that as we continue on the road to Backlash. As I said, I straight up 6 out of 10 tonight. Decent show, a little bit above average, but nothing special. And you guys let me know what you think. And then, of course, everybody, as always remember and never, ever forget that, of course, I'm your host, Big T, and I will see all of you at the matches, and I'll see all of you for your AEW Battle of the Belt 6 and AEW Dynamite coverage on Wednesday. So, take care, everybody. Thank you, WWE, for a decent show tonight. But we'll see what happens on Wednesday for AEW. So, take care, everybody. I love you all. And, of course, good night, everybody. Ha, 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 ha.
This is M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you were checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring. BLT.